All right, so today we are gonna dive deep into the world of Tyla.
Ooh, exciting.
Now you've probably heard water. It's like everywhere.
That dance challenge, oh my goodness.
But trust me, there's way more to her story
Definitely.
than just that catchy song, that one hit. We're talking about like a super quick rise to fame,
Yeah.
a unique sound, and like tons of South African pride.
Yes.
And we're using her Wikipedia page to guide us through all this. So that's like our main source here.
Love it. A good Wikipedia deep dive.
It's awesome. It's like a treasure trove.
It is. And it's fascinating, like, how it shows not just like a list of her achievements, but also it like shows how music is changing globally.
Right?
It's not just about Tyla, as a person, her success, but it's about like social media and how it launches artists.
Oh, totally.
The influence of African music is growing and like pop music is changing and evolving.
All right.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So let's like start at the beginning.
Okay.
Her Wikipedia tells us that she was born in Edenvale, South Africa in 2002, but her heritage is like super diverse.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like Indian, Mauritian, Zulu, and Irish ancestry all mixed together.
Wow, that's so interesting.
I know, it's so cool.
And you can like really hear that in her music, right?
Totally.
Like she's drawing from all these different
Influence.
backgrounds and making something new, something captivating.
Absolutely. And speaking of captivating, get this. She was head of culture at her high school.
Whoa, really?
Like a natural born leader, right? But even before graduation, she was already posting like original songs and covers on Instagram.
Wow.
So clearly music was calling.
Yeah, this wasn't just a hobby, for sure.
It was like in her blood.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's where fate, or maybe just a good algorithm, stepped in.
Yeah.
Her first manager, Garth Von Glane, found her, like discovered her on Instagram.
Through those posts.
Yeah, just through her post.
Wow.
And imagine seeing that talent, just like raw talent on your phone.
Yeah.
He saw her potential and like no time wasted, got her right into a recording studio.
Hey, hold on. Every weekend of her final year of high school, she was recording.
That's what it says, yeah.
That's dedication.
Seriously.
It's like high school student by day and rising star by night?
Yeah, it's like a movie montage.
Totally.
But here's a plot twist.
Okay.
Tyla started college studying mining engineering.
What?
Mining engineering.
That is so different from music.
Right.
Like, did she wake up one morning and think, you know what? I think I'd rather be singing and dancing.
Well, something like
What
that.
happened?
It seems like that music bug bit her hard.
Okay.
And after what Tyla describes as a lot of crying,
Oh my gosh.
she convinced her parents to let her take a year off to pursue music.
Wow.
And thank goodness they did, because she debuted with Getting Late at the end of 2019.
Yes. And that song was massive in South Africa, right?
Huge.
It put her on the map. It even got nominated for a South African Music Award.
Yeah. For Best Music Video of the Year in 2022.
It's crazy to think they filmed it during COVID lockdown.
Isn't it?
They turned like limitations into creativity.
That's amazing.
And it worked.
Millions of views on YouTube.
Totally.
You can't argue with that.
No.
That's success right there.
And it's a testament to her resourcefulness.
Absolutely.
Like, it was a sign of things to come.
Yeah, like Getting Late was more than a hit.
It was a statement.
It was like, hey, world, I'm here and I'm ready.
Totally. So she breaks through in South Africa,
Yes.
but her Wikipedia also talks about this big event in 2023. Her first public performance
Okay.
was at a Dolce & Gabbana after party during Milan Fashion Week.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah, that sounds super fancy.
He was definitely strategic,
Also.
Like high profile events like that, fashion events.
Yeah.
They attract all the important people,
Yeah.
music industry, entertainment.
Right.
So performing at Dolce & Gabbana, it's like,
A stamp of approval
exactly.
from the fashion world.
Yes.
Like, it elevates your status.
Yeah.
Introduces you to new people.
No audiences, yeah.
So it's like more than just the music.
Totally.
It's about image, a brand,
Yeah.
and like connecting with this whole cultural scene.
Yes, exactly.
Like going from, high school in South Africa to Milan Fashion Week.
That's a big jump.
It is a massive jump.
It is.
And then right after that performance, she releases Been Thinking. And that's what gets her on the Billboard charts for the first time.
Yeah.
So you can just feel things building. Right?
Absolutely. The momentum.
It's like, okay, she's making waves in South Africa. She's dipping her toes in the international scene.
Yeah.
And then, boom, Billboard.
On the charts.
And it's like, it's only up from here.
Yeah, but the story doesn't stop there.
It doesn't.
No. This is where it gets interesting because next comes the song that changed everything.
Oh, I think I know it's coming.
You do.
I think it's Water Time.
You got it. Water. The song that took Tyla from rising star to global phenomenon.
All right, so before we get into Water and like the impact it had, let's take a quick pause to refresh, and then we'll come back and see how this one song basically took over the world.
Sounds good. So we left off with Tyla, like right on the edge of, international stardom.
Yeah.
She'd killed it in South Africa. Milan Fashion Week, even Billboard charts.
She was making moves, for sure.
But it was Water that really, changed the game.
Yeah, Water was everywhere. I mean, I remember seeing that dance challenge, all over TikTok. Yeah. It felt like the whole world was suddenly, moving to this beat.
And that's the thing, right?
What is it?
It wasn't just a good song.
Yeah.
It was like a whole cultural moment.
Right.
It used the power of social media.
Yeah.
And created this global community.
Totally.
Around this awesome blend of pop and amapiano.
It is amazing how a song can just break down borders and languages. But for those of us who maybe aren't as familiar with amapiano, what is it about this genre that makes it so unique and captivating?
Okay, so amapiano is more than just a genre.
Oh.
It's like a cultural movement.
Wow.
Born in the townships of South Africa.
Okay.
And it's this amazing fusion of deep house, jazz, and lounge music.
Oh, that's a lot.
With these hypnotic bass lines and soulful melodies.
I can hear it.
There's this real feeling of joy and energy that you just get sucked into.
Oh, I feel.
And it makes you want to move.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
It's like a celebration of life.
It is.
And then Tyla comes in with her pop sensibility.
Yeah.
And brings this whole other dimension to amapiano.
Absolutely.
She took something that was bubbling under the surface and introduced it to the world.
Exactly.
And Water wasn't just a viral hit,
No.
It was a chart topper.
Yeah, it was top 10 in tons of countries. South Africa, the US, the UK.
Wow.
But here's the crazy part. Tyla was the first South African soloist in 55 years to make it onto the US Billboard Hot 100.
Really?
Yeah, the last time that happened was with Hugh Masekula's Grazing in the Grass back in 1968.
Wow, talk about making history.
Yeah.
It's like she was meant to bring South African music to the world.
It seems like it, right?
And speaking of stages, her Wikipedia mentions performances on huge TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
Like The Bianca Show in Sweden.
Oh, sure.
And The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon here in the US.
No, that's huge.
Yeah, you've made it when
you're on Fallon.
You're on Fallon. And those late night shows,
I know.
They're the holy grail for musicians.
They are?
It's you get to show off your talent to millions of people all over the world.
Millions.
And Tyla didn't just perform.
No.
She owned the stage.
She did.
She had this confidence, charisma.
Totally captivating.
Yeah.
She's she was born for it.
Totally. So we've got Water, a global smash. She's performing on international TV.
Yeah.
And then her Wikipedia mentions a collaboration with Summer Walker on a remix of Girls Need Love.
Yeah, in October 2023.
It's she's strategically aligning herself with the big names in music.
Oh, absolutely. Collaborating with someone like Summer Walker is smart.
Yeah.
It gets you more exposure.
Yeah.
Introduces you to new fans.
Totally.
And just solidifies you as a force in the industry.
It's okay, she's here to stay.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
It is.
All this momentum, all this buzz.
Yeah.
It was leading up to something even bigger, her debut album.
Oh, yeah, the self-titled Tyla album.
Yes.
Released in March 2024. I remember, everyone was so excited.
Yeah.
The anticipation was crazy. Everyone was talking about it online.
Totally.
And she even released, those promotional singles.
Oh, yeah, little teasers.
Yeah, Truth or Dare, and Butterflies.
I love those.
It was a taste of what was to come. And let me tell you, it was delicious.
It was
so good. And the album didn't disappoint.
No, it did not.
It was a hit, critically and commercially.
It was top 25 in so many countries.
Oh, yeah. Where?
The US, UK, Netherlands, Norway, New Zealand, Switzerland.
Wow, she was everywhere.
She was global.
Global. But Tyla was more than just chart positions. It was a statement of her artistic vision.
Her signature sound, pop, and amapiano, her lure.
And all that energy from her early days in South Africa just poured into this album.
I love that it's like bottled up energy and ambition.
Exactly.
And remember that Billboard thing?
Yeah.
That historic moment? It got her something pretty special.
What's that?
The first ever Grammy Award for Best African Music Performance for Water.
No way. At the 66th Annual Grammy Awards.
Wow.
That is huge.
It's a moment bigger than just her, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a win for South African music, for African artists.
Right.
It shows the world.
That African music is huge.
Yeah, that it's vibrant, diverse.
Yes.
And it deserves to be celebrated.
On the biggest stages.
On the biggest stages in the world.
And to make it even better,
It gets better.
she was the youngest African artist to ever win a Grammy.
That's amazing.
Talk about breaking records.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And her Wikipedia page mentions all these other awards too.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
BE Awards, MTV Video Music Awards,
Wow.
a bunch of nominations at the Metro FM Music Awards in South Africa.
It's like she was just collecting awards left and right.
She was on a roll.
It's amazing.
It really is, but you know what's even more impressive?
What?
How grounded she stayed through all of this.
Yeah.
She's always pushing herself creatively,
Yeah.
experimenting with new sounds,
Totally.
collaborating.
Yeah, and speaking of new sounds, in October 2024, she drops a deluxe version of her album
Right.
with new songs, including Push to Start.
Ah, yes.
And this track is so cool.
Yeah.
It's got this reggae-infused amapiano pop vibe.
I know, I love it.
It's like she's not afraid to play with different genres
No, she's not afraid to explore.
and just make them her own.
That's what makes her so interesting.
Exactly. So Push to Start. It's a great example of how her artistry is constantly evolving.
Yeah, she's not just resting on her success.
Yeah.
Always looking for new ways to express herself, to push boundaries.
Right.
That's what makes her so exciting to follow.
So we've covered a lot,
We have.
from her beginnings in South Africa to Grammys and global collabs.
Yeah.
But what about, like, the core of it all?
Mm-hmm.
What about Tyla's artistry, her influences?
Right, like what makes her sound so distinctive?
Yeah. We've talked about, like, the pop and amapiano blend,
Yeah.
but there's got to be more to it.
There is. We need to go deeper.
Okay.
Explore those layers, like what shaped her sound.
Let's unpack those influences
Yes.
and really get to the heart of what makes Tyla's music so special.
Already.
So we've talked about her journey, like, all the way from those early days in South Africa to winning a Grammy and, like, working with artists all over the world.
Mhm.
We even explored, like, the whole amapiano thing and how she's, like, blended that with pop to create her own sound.
Just a good sound.
It is. It's so catchy.
It is.
But I'm curious, like, what are the influences, you know?
Yeah.
What shaped her artistry? Who are, like, the artists that made her want to do this?
Well, her Wikipedia page actually gives us some clues.
It does.
Yeah, it lists a bunch of artists as
I
inspiration.
don't say, like, who.
Michael Jackson,
Okay, a classic.
Aaliyah, Rihanna,
Yeah.
Cassie, Ciara, Shakira.
Okay, I see a theme here.
Yeah, lots of pop icons, some R&B legends,
Right.
freshly ground, Britney Spears, Drake, Wizkid.
Wow, that's a mix.
It is global and South African.
Yeah,
It's like a whole tapestry of influences.
I love that.
You can hear those artists in her music,
You can.
but it's not like she's copying them.
No,
It's like she took all those influences and made something totally new.
it's like her own thing.
Exactly.
And there's this quote from her. It really shows her vision, you
Yeah.
know? She said, "When I was a kid, I always hoped that a pop star like Rihanna, Britney Spears, or Michael Jackson would come out of South Africa. I wanted a star to come from my hometown. Now, for the people of my hometown, I want to be a pop star who represents South Africa."
That's so powerful.
It's not just about, like, her own success. It's
Yeah.
about showing the world what South African talent can do,
Yeah, representing her home.
inspiring other artists
Oh, right.
in her hometown and, like, everywhere.
And her success really shows that people want new sounds, you know?
They do.
They want different voices.
Yeah.
And her music, it's not just catchy, it's breaking down barriers,
Totally.
expanding what pop music can be.
And we got to talk about social media.
Yeah.
It played a huge role, right?
It did.
We talked about how Water went viral on TikTok,
Mhm.
and that definitely helped her break through globally.
It was a catalyst for sure.
But it's more than just, like, algorithms.
Yeah.
It's the way social media has changed the music industry.
Yeah, it's given more power to the artists. They don't have to rely on record labels as much anymore.
Yeah.
They can connect directly with fans,
Right.
build their own communities, create their own opportunities.
What Tyla did.
Exactly.
And it makes you wonder, what's next for her?
I know, right?
She's done so much already,
She has.
but it feels like she's just getting started.
I think we can expect big things.
I agree.
She's ambitious, always pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if she branched out into other things like fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Or film, maybe even like starts her own business.
The possibilities are endless.
They are. It's exciting to think about.
It really is. She's already proven herself. I think she's got a lot more in store for us.
I agree. And her success is opening doors for other African artists.
It is.
It's showing the world what they can do.
Showing that incredible talent, that creativity coming out of Africa.
Yeah.
So as we finish up this deep dive into Tyla's world, I think the big takeaway is this is more than just one artist's story. It's about cultures connecting. Yeah. Music breaking down borders.
Absolutely.
And how the music industry is changing, like globally.
It's a good story.
It's a great story. Tyla's journey shows us that talent, hard work, and a little bit of magic can take you anywhere.
A little bit of magic. I like that.
You gotta have that magic.
Yeah, and it reminds us to always be open to new sounds, new stories, new perspectives.
Exactly. So if you haven't already, go check out her music.
Do it.
Explore everything she's done.
Yeah.
And let her story inspire you to chase your own dreams, no matter how big or crazy they seem.
Well said.
Thanks. Until next time, keep diving deep.
And keep exploring the world of music.
See you on the next Deep Dive.
Backstories Podcast.